for Wrestling Podcast. Paulus, Clarke.
Maybe this will fix everything. Welcome to the party, everybody. Stand by. I'm still getting worked up. I totally forgot to pull this up, so I need to get this up in my area so we know what's going on and what we're going to talk about a little bit here. Still waiting.
It wouldn't be a value of wrestling live if we didn't have a little bit of technical difficulties.
There we go. All right. We are here. We are up, and we are going. On the big time, this is Paulus, Clarke. This is the Value of Wrestling. This is your Monday Night Raw review for November 6th, 2023. You know, deep into November, Halloween's coming past. We are going hard and strong. The holiday season's right around the corner.
Yeah, we have someone in the
So good.
chat saying that they can't hear.
Well, now they should be able to hear. You should be able to hear me now, correct? Thank you for joining us in the chat. And if you're in the chat, always make sure you drop your comments in the chat below because we will enter your comments as we go along. If you can hear me now, let me know. We're trying to get this all started. We're discombobulated. I am not at 100%, but that's okay. Oh, that didn't. There we go. Can you hear me now? All right. Anyways, Monday Night Raw. A great episode, a decent episode, a really good episode tonight. We got a lot of great actions. We got some new matches. We got some continuing matches, and we're finally building the Survivor Series. We're building the War Games. We're facing the fallout from Crown Jewel, and we are here, and I have no word on anything. I can hear myself, so that's all that matters. We're going to go with it. So we open up with the fallout of Crown Jewel, and We got a review of everything that happened down on Crown Jewel. We even showed Damian Priest getting his Money in the Bank stolen by Sami Zayn. This was the big question: what was going to happen with the Money in the Bank briefcase being stolen by Sami Zayn? I'm a little disappointed how that played out, but we'll definitely talk about that here in a second. Anyways, opening sequence here: Seth Rollins coming down the ringside. Seth Rollins looking like a banana tonight. Kind of made me hungry for some banana pudding, or in this area, we got banana milk. And if you want to know about banana milk, let me tell you, it's some yummy stuff. Anywho, where are you? Okay, well, it's really hard for me to read that chat when I talk to you, and you can talk into this chat, but I'm hearing myself, so hopefully you're hearing us. I don't know where Miguel Z is tonight. Shame. Maybe he needs to get the magic button to start the show, Anyways, we're going to have to get, I think we're going to have to.
Ears will ring a little bit if you hit that button.
Hey, gobbledygooker! Anyways, maybe we need to make a moderator in the chat, but you got to be in the chat if you're going to be a moderator and communicate through the chat in YouTube, not text me on a different system because that makes it a little more difficult. Anyways, back to Seth Rollins. We had Seth Rollins coming in the ring dressed up like a giant yellow banana. And the World Heavyweight Champion was out, and he wanted to thank some people. First, he wanted to thank Drew McIntyre for being a man, having a good match, and taking him to the edge, and not using Judgment Day. And this then brought him out to his second thank you, and that was Sami Zayn. And he wanted to thank Sami Zayn for helping him out. He cut off Damian Priest. Damian Priest came down to cash in, but Sami Zayn ran in, stole the briefcase, and so Rollins wanted to thank Sami Zayn. And, of course, Rollins calls Sami Zayn out to the ring. Sami comes out. Of course, he's missing the briefcase, which makes us all go, And Rollins instantly brought this up, telling him that he heard that, when he arrived at the building, Adam Pearce took the briefcase from him and gave it back to Damian Priest. Sami Zayn's like, how did you know? Anyways, Rollins thanks Sami. Sami goes, I didn't do it for you. I did it to help prevent Judgment Day from becoming Bloodline 2.0. They hold all the titles around here but one, and that's the World Championship. And, of course, the big question is they don't hold the Intercontinental title, so I think you are wrong in that statement. But, hey, we'll let it slide. You get in the moment. I think you're looking at the picture and not thinking about everything there. But that's fine and dandy, but it was a bad moment there when they just totally forget about the Intercontinental title. But he will fight Judgment Day till the bitter end. Rollins wants to show his appreciation. So as Rollins found out about Damian Priest getting the money briefcase back, because after Damian walked out of Pierce's office with his Money in the Bank briefcase back, Rollins walked in the office and asked Adam Pearce for a favor, and that favor was to give Sami Zayn a championship anytime, any place, whenever he wanted it. All he had to say was win. So, Sami says he wants that. Sounds great, but he wants the champion at 100%. He doesn't want the champion to not be 100%, or questionable for any reason. And this is where Seth Rollins and Sami Zayn bring up their history about how they wrestle all over the place. And they, have never been 100%. They'll never be 100%, but they go out there and basically give 100%. They smack hands. They agree on tonight will be Sami Zayn versus Seth Rollins in the main event for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Great opening to the show. Builds to a great match. Explains the Money in the briefcase, what the fallout of that was. It was a little disappointing since they just had to hand it back to Damian Priest. I thought they could have dragged it out a little longer. Now we're going to get Sami Zayn versus Seth Rollins for the AEW World Championship in the main event. Good, solid idea for a booking match. These two have met before, so it's not something brand new. But for the WWE Championship, this is pay-per-view quality match. Definitely, I agree. But a good opener, a good starter segment, get the crowd hot and ready to go. Mr. Clarke, your thoughts on the opening of tonight's show?
It's everything you just said it was. I was a little disappointed that they were going to set up a free, like a pay-per-view match, pay-per-view worthy match on free TV. But as we went along in the night, and they made sense. So it's like, okay. Plus, like, you knew it was going to be good.
Mm-hmm.
That's all, I guess. That's telling a good story and being a good match. Like, okay.
No, it is definitely a pay-per-view quality match, but at least on this instance, it's not the first time they've ever met, so you're not totally throwing
Right.
away free money. Secondly, at least you have a decent little reason that, how we got here, and the outcome is to set up something else further down the road. And also, with the way Rollins wins later tonight, it still leaves Sammy open to come back and get a title match anywhere down the road, because Sammy almost had Seth tonight. Anyways, we're in the backstage area after this with the members of the Judgment Day. Dominic Mysterio talking about how he could watch Logan Paul beat his dead-ass daddy, but he would love to watch Mommy all night. Mommy does her thing. J.D. McDonough's there, and Damian Priest walks in. He's quite upset, not happy. Basically, he comes down. J.D. McDonough tries to make up things with Priest. He's wearing a Priest shirt. Priest is like, "Did you pay for that shirt?" So it's a funny comment in there. Anyways, we had Damian Priest and Finn Balor to walk out as they are ready to set up for their non-title match against the New Day. And hopefully they'll be just a New Day and not the New Judgment Day. Hopefully that never happens again.
That was for Halloween, I assume.
Yes, no, I know. I'm just poking fun of the bear because it was just that bad. Anyways, New Day, Judgment Day opened the show. We got a great wrestling match between all these guys. It's exactly what you expect. Balor hits a sling blade on Woods and then into the South of Heaven into a coup de grace for a finish. The match was 9 minutes, 10 seconds. Wood eats a pin, which is fine by me. And Judgment Day continues their way. Very good, solid match. Definitely looking good. New Day still came out looking good in the match. I thought it was a great match. Overall, a good, solid match. Made Judgment Day still look strong. They are still your tag team champions. Of course, this was not a title match, so it didn't matter. But at least they didn't give New Day a win so they would get a title match, because I really don't need to see New Day in any title matches right now. Mr. Clarke, your thoughts on the opening match for the night, Judgment Day versus New Day?
It was cool. I'd like to see I'd like to see the New Day actually face some other teams and kind of mix it up with something new and fresh. It's like, at this point, we know what they've done in the past. I'd like to see them just try to find something different.
Yeah, well, I think they got to build some more heel teams out there as part of it, too. They don't have that many heel teams, if you really think about it. You got Imperium. You had the Viking Raiders, but one of them's injured. Who else do you have that's really a heel team at the moment other than Judgment Day? So I think that's a little bit of the hiccup in the bigger pictures. They don't have a lot of teams there to circulate. They are bringing in DIY. They just signed, as we'll talk about later, the Creed brothers are now signed to Raw with Ivy Nile. So we'll have to see what they're going to do with the Creed brothers. Last week they had a match with Alpha Academy, and this week they had a match with DIY. So I'm a little interested in why it's this way and what is going to happen going forward. Anywho, from there we had a earlier segment where we saw Drew McIntyre pull up, and I forget the girl's name, Jamie Redmond or something. I forget.
Yeah.
She's so almost insignificant to me that I don't necessarily pay attention to her name, which is probably not the fairest thing on my part, but I don't catch her name all the time. Anyways, Drew McIntyre pulled out, got out of his car. She tried to ask him about everything, and Drew just got back in his car and I guess left, because we never saw Drew McIntyre for the rest of the night on TV. I don't know where Drew's going. I don't know what Drew's character is going to bring us, but this was an interesting twist.
See, I thought that he was going to come back later in the night and maybe have something to do with the main event or play some role. But like you said, he didn't come back the rest of the show. So
he decided to go.
Continued.
Exactly. Anyways, the next match on paper, everybody might have cringed a little bit because we got Shinsuke Nakamura against Akira Tozawa. And on paper, I could see where people are like, this is going to be a feed me match to Nakamura. This is going to be one of those comedy matches. But you know what? It wasn't a long match, but it was a good match. Honestly, it was a damn good match. Tozawa came out with some impressive moves. Nakamura looking dang good. These two went back and forth. Eventually, it ended with a beautiful Kinshasa, one of the best Kinshasas I've seen on Tozawa, and Tozawa took it perfectly. It was a 2-minute, 31-second match. Yes, it was a short match, but in that short time period, Tozawa really looked strong. I'm glad they're trying to let Tozawa get some look good. He gets in a lot of moves in the last two matches against Bronson Reed and here against Nakamura. He looked really good. He was pushing up against Nakamura. It looked like a good match between these two. These two blended really well together. I'd like to see another match between them go about 10 minutes. I think there's more to give there. I think it was a really good, solid match. Of course, Nakamura wins at 2 minutes 31 seconds, hitting the Kinshasa. It was a beautiful Kinshasa, and it was a good match. Nakamura versus Tozawa. Mr. Clarke, your thoughts?
Until we figure out who is supposed to bring the artist out of Shinsuke, I think he's just going to get a bunch of theater matches anyways. But like you said, I do like the fact that they gave Tozawa a little bit of a showcase, a little bit of some offense. It's like, the dude can wrestle. He can go. He's shown that when he was Cruiserweight champion. He's shown that other places in his career, even before WWE. It's cool that he's playing a bit of a comedy character, especially now with Alpha Academy.
Mm-hmm.
It's playing kind of the junior associate role, if you will.
He still has his comedy bits about him too, but he's kind of looking a little more serious in the same nature. At least they're giving him the feel of being a contender. And ladies and gentlemen, he's here. He's here. Welcome to the party, Miguel Z. We are glad to see you, Mr. Gabadiguka.
Thank you.
We're glad that you are here and that you finally joined us. And we will move on from there. After the match, so Otis got in the ring, and it looked like Otis was going to go after Nakamura. Nakamura turned around to see Otis and basically blew him off, walked out of the ring. And then we were told later that Nakamura and Otis will be going one-on-one next week, so that'll be an interesting match to watch and see.
That's
from there we got,
in my opinion.
From there we got a video on Natalya. Yay! I mean, you can be excited. It is Natalya. Her accomplishments, okay, I don't know. Natalya's kind of just there. I don't know how you get excited about her. I don't know how many hype package videos they can do to make me get excited about her. She's just there to fill a role. When they need her, she steps up, and she's great talented. She's great in the ring. It's not the wrestler again. It's just she hasn't been booked to feel like anything. So when they put a video package out about Natalya, I'm like, I'm sorry.
Listen to this politically correct stuff. You hate the Heart. No, I'm playing.
No. I've never hated the Hearts. Yes, I'm a Shawn Michaels fan, and when Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart feuded, I was always in the Shawn Michaels corner. But I've never hated the Hearts in any shape or form. And when when Bret Hart was a bad guy, or you had the Hart Foundation's heels, yeah, I booed them. But yes, I'm a diehard Shawn fan, but I have mad respect for the Hart Foundation. I have mad respect for everybody who's been a part of that, and I have mad respect. I think Natalya's great. It's WWE's booking in Natalya over the years. It's just kind of like,
yes,
I can't get hype behind you. I don't care what video package you put out. It's just it's some of the people they do it in AEW too. But hey, Anyways, Adam Pearce is here to hype up the four-way Intercontinental title match, contender match between The Miz, Bronson Reed, Ivar, and Ricochet, which was a good match. The ending was kind of funky like a monkey. I don't know exactly what they were trying to sell there, but hey, we will talk about that in a moment. Then Seth Rollins and Adam Pearce appeared on screen. Adam Pearce checking on Seth. Seth's telling him, I'm good. I'm going to do what needs to be done. So we're getting Sammy versus Seth tonight. The four-way matchup. The winner of this match gets a Intercontinental title shot at Survivor Series. We have The Miz, Bronson Reed, Ivar, Ricochet, and this match was a good match. Everybody got in their moves. It was a great moment back and forth. And then at the end there, we had Miz and Ricochet down on the mat. Ivar comes creeping up from one side of the ring. Bronson Reed's climbing the top rope to the other side. They stare each other down as they both climb up the rope. Ivar set up for the moonsault, and Bronson Reed is set up for a monsoon, as it is called, the big splash. And so Ivar flips and hits Ricochet with a moonsault, lands it beautifully. Bronson Reed took too long to get it, so the Miz rolled out of the way. He monsooned himself onto the mat. Miz rolled up.
It's called the tsunami.
Oh, the tsunami. There you go. Yeah. Monsoon, tsunami, just different areas of the world where you use different language. Anywho, he missed with the tsunami. The Miz rolled him up. The Ivar had a pin on Ricochet. Miz had a pin on Bronson Reed. The referee counted 3, but after 2 and like a quarter, Ricochet kicked out. The Miz pinned Bronson Reed nice and clean. And they tried to sell this as the referee was like he didn't know who to give the win to, but if you watch the slow-mo, the referee was looking right at Ricochet's shoulder pop up. and then the announcer, of course, Samantha's over there like, and your winner is the Miz before the referee ever get. It was just weird. The announcer tried to sell it like Ricochet didn't kick out, and then they're like, oh yeah, he did kick out. They replayed this like several times. I don't know what they were trying to sell here. The match was good, but this was just kind of weird, and I don't know why they needed to pull any stints. So Ivar didn't get the pin. Miz did get the pin. Miz will get the face Gunther at Survivor Series, but of course after the match, Ivar beat down the Miz, hitting him with the moonsault from the top rope. Good, solid match between all these guys. In the end, though, the ending was a little funky. It was funky like a monkey, like I said. I don't know what they were trying to get here. Maybe Miz and Ivar are face off in between now and Survivor Series, which is fine, depending on how they play that out. But we all expected the Miz to basically come out the winner here for the match going into with Gunther at Survivor Series. Mr. Clarke, your thoughts on the four-way dance?
Of all the competitors in the ring, they made the referee look the stupidest.
Mm-hmm.
During they kept replaying the ending over, and it was like 1, 2, and then you would see the referee's head fully turn to Miz, and like, how could he even possibly count 3 on forget his name now?
Ivar
and Ricochet. His head was fully towards Miz and Bronson Reed. It's like,
well, and he was looking right at Ricochet when Ricochet's shoulder popped up. So I mean, he was going back and forth with his head. I don't know. And then
when you have a double count, like that, you have both hands. Like, you're like, come on.
Oh yeah.
He's like, no, he's doing it one-handed. It's like, I don't know. They just really made the referee look stupid.
And then he stood up like, and the Miz was celebrating, and the referee's like, and I'm like, none of this makes sense. Even Ivar hadn't celebrated yet, so I don't know what they sold. And then the announcer's just like, and you're winner of the Miz. So I don't know if there was a screw up here. I don't know if Ricochet kicked out too early. I don't know if Ricochet wasn't supposed to kick out at all. I don't know what the screw up in this whole mess was, because it seemed very weird. And it seemed like Samantha just kind of jumped the gun announcing the winner. So I mean, Miz wins. We're going to get Miz and Gunther, and that's fine by me. We could get Miz and Ivar in a one-on-one match between now and then, and that's fine too.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're in the back. Alpha Academy gives Desal a prep talk, and he's going to be also in the Heritage Cup next tomorrow, the NXT Heritage Cup tomorrow night. And here comes Maxine Dupree. Maxine Dupree comes in, and she's ready to become a number 1 contender as well, because she is going to be in the Women's Battle Royal for number 1 contendership for the women's title, or Rhea Ripley's title. I believe that's also at Survivor Series, but I will make sure I check that, which is interesting. And this Battle Royal really shows Tony Khan how you freaking set up a number 1 contender that makes sense instead of just randomness. Anyways, we get a look back at the Creed brothers and their debut last week, and now we're in Adam Pearce's offense. The Creeds and Ivy Nile are officially signing their Raw deals earlier today, when DIY walks in and basically says, hey, it's you guys, and they all decide they want a match. So they ask each other who could make a match right in front of Adam Pearce, kind of making Adam Pearce look dumb, making them all look dumb. It's like Adam Pearce right there. He could just book the match. So we got a match booked between the Creed brothers and DIY, and we got a good solid match between these two. Just very impressive, what you would want from all these competitors in the ring. A whole bunch of baby faces. Eventually, Ciampa hits his finishing maneuver, and the one Creed kicks out. Ciampa doesn't know what's going on. They tagging Ciampa, or they chop in Gargano, and they fight back and forth between. They were going for in the middle. Ciampa gets thrown out. They were going for the middle, and then Ludwig Kaiser jumps up and decks Gargano with a kick, making him stumble around in the ring. He gets picked up by the Julius Creed up on his shoulders in the old Steiner position, the old LOD on the shoulder position, and Brutus Creed hits his Brutus Ball. The match ended at 9 minutes, 39 seconds. I don't know how long that Brutus Ball can be a finisher, because it looks like the way he lands, I don't know. But anyways, the Creed brothers get a win in a match that was very scary on paper when you saw these names together. DIY just reforming on the first time on the main roster, and reforming after a long, long time. The Creed brothers just coming up to the main roster, and so you really didn't want to see either of these teams lose. But at least with Ludwig Kaiser stepping in to cost DIY, it helped to make sense. It wasn't so brutal to see the Creed brothers win. I'm interested in seeing what they're going to do with the Creed brothers from here. They've taken on Alpha Academy and they've taken on DIY. So it's been friendly battles, but what's going to go on here? I think the Creed brothers might be a team that is going to go heel. I think we're going to build towards that in this weird way. They're coming out like the baby faces winning. But I think, WWE, like we just talked about a little while ago, they need another heel tag team, and I think this would be a good team that they could turn heel in the direction they're going. Mr. Clarke, your thoughts on the DIY brothers, or the Creed brothers, or whatever the Creed name is. Creeds. The Creed brothers, okay.
The Creed brothers right now. If you notice, though, on their emblem, they still have Diamond Mine still on their logo. When you add Ivy Nile to that. Good match. It was the only thing I was scared of, just like you said earlier, is like you have both these teams that really you don't really want to put too much of a loss on them. One you got reforming, the other is new to the main roster. So how they were gonna play this out was a little bit scary, but they found a way to make it make sense for now and continue both journeys.
Yep. So from there, we get Sami Zayn in the back. Sami Zayn's in the back. He's watching a video package of Sami getting his title shot against Roman Reigns at Elimination Chamber in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. Eventually, Jey Uso walks in. After we see Jey Uso costing the match, Jey comes in and sees Sami, apologizes for what happened at Elimination Chamber. Sami says, that's in the past. It's done. And as for Jey gives Sami a pep talk about tonight, and then tells Jey that he and Cody have their tag team taught next week against Judgment Day, and they talk about how they could both be champions going into next week, at the end of next week. From there, we go into a Becky Lynch promo. She's ready to fight anyone. Eventually, Nia Jax comes up behind her and lets her know she's there, and how Jax and Lynch have their history. So we're going to go to there, and this leads into the Women's Battle Royal. The Women's Battle Royal features Nia Jax, Becky Lynch, Piper Niven, Chelsea Green, Shayna Baszler, Becky Lynch, Kaden Carter, Katana Chance?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Natalya, Indy Hartwell, Nikki Cross, Zoe Starks, Ivy Nile, Tegan Knox, Raquel Rodriguez, and Maxine Dupree. And Tegan Knox got a good opening in there. Raquel Rodriguez was the last one to come out to the match. But before all that happened, Becky Lynch was coming down the ring, and out of nowhere, Xia Li attacks her from behind, knocking her out. Becky Lynch is out. Adam Pearce comes down with referees and other people, and he stands between Xia Li and the ring, saying, "Nope, you don't get to be in this match." And for the first time, somebody does something right. You're like, "Oh, you injured one of the opponents coming in the ring. You don't get to be in the ring either." Becky's taken to the back. Xia Li is kicked out of the ring. And we get a good, solid Battle Royal match here. At one point, Nikki Cross is standing between Raquel Rodriguez and Nia Jax, and they just dump her. She's still playing this lost character, Cross is. It's an interesting one. I don't know. We eventually get down to Ivy Nile, Shayna Baszler, Raquel Rodriguez, Zoe Starks, and Nia Jax. Ivy Nile tries to pick Nia Jax up on her shoulder, almost gets her up there. Very impressive. Nia Jackson picks her up for a Samoan drop, and then backs into then everybody starts kicking her. So you have Zoe Starks, you have Raquel Rodriguez, and Shayna Baszler kicking the snot out of Nia Jax. Nia Jax eventually gets to the corner of the rope. She drops Ivy Nile down on the apron. She stays hanging on the edge. And Shayna Baszler, Raquel Rodriguez, and Zoe Starks just dump Nia Jax over the top rope like Nia Jax was nothing. Nia Jax not humpy for whatever reason. Ivy Nile was hanging on the outside, taking a breather for way too long. You could see this coming from a mile away. Nia Jax walks over and pulls Ivy Nile right off the apron, eliminating her, leaving Raquel Rodriguez, Shayna Baszler, and Zoe Starks. The computer cuts goes on, but Baszler lets go before Starks can flip her on the floor. That leaves Starks hit a DDT, knock Baszler out for the win. So Zoe Starks is your winner, and she will get to face Rhea Ripley at what I believe is going to be, yes, it's at Survivor Series. So Rhea Ripley, Zoe Starks, Survivor Series for the WWE Women's World Championship. Mr. Clarke, your thoughts on this Women's Battle Royal?
I want to kind of go look at the end. while I appreciate Zoe Stark's passion for winning, like she should, feel good for winning this battle royal. By the same token, though, if including her, if 4 competitors couldn't beat Rhea Ripley, what is one gonna do at Survivor Series? Now they tried to give her a little bit of leeway, but because when they had brought up, I think this is a little bit after the match, that Zoe did get her finishing maneuver on Rhea Ripley, the Z100 or whatever, the Z60, whatever it's called.
Mm-hmm.
But by the same token, it's like you still lost, Booch. I love her passion. Like I said, after winning this match, I still think she's going to be fed to Rhea Ripley, though.
Yeah, no, I think it'll be a good match between Zoe Stark and Rhea Ripley. What they're going to do, I don't know. Who Rhea Ripley loses his title to, I don't know. They're running, feel it. You want to feed mommy? Okay, Miguel, you can feed mommy. We won't tell what you do with mommy.
Jesus. Although speaking of Miguel, so he earlier asked, "Can we take Otis seriously?" I'm like, well, let me put it this way: if your ass was in that ring, would you take him seriously? He might do all this common stuff outside the ring, but outside the ring, but inside the ring, wouldn't you take him seriously?
I think Miguel should get in the ring with Gunther. I think that's where we need to get. We need to get Miguel into the WWE. He needs to have Marty Richards as his manager, and then he needs to go one-on-one with the Intercontinental Champion, the Ring General Gunther.
Even Gunther takes Otis seriously enough.
Yes, no. Otis is good when he's. Otis is good when Otis is good. When you really get into the seriousness and not just all the goofiness. Anyways, from there we got to play back at John Cena just getting spiked to the throat. Teasing the retirement of John Cena. I don't know what's to come next. I don't know when we're going to see John Cena next. Will we see him on Friday night? It'll be interesting going forward. So we'll have to see. But John Cena, I don't even know if he'll be able to talk if he comes out on Friday. He was hoarse after the last one. Now, after like a dozen of them, who knows how that will play out. Oh, yeah, Marty would definitely let you just get chopped to hell because, if you don't acknowledge him, he's teaching you a lesson, I'm sure. There's a lesson in the chopping. You don't understand it. Once you understand it, then you'll be okay. Pain is your friend.
Might help.
Pain is your friend. Pain is just, I forget what the old saying. Pain was something just leaving your body. Anywho. So from there, we got a main event. The main event, of course, why is it the Raw World title? I thought it was the WWE World title. Why would somebody put the Raw World title in this caption? Anyways, it was the WWE World title.
Yeah.
Sami Zayn versus Seth Rollins. And we got exactly what you expect out of this match. A good 20-minute match. Solid good match. Back and forth. They made you believe at any time any one of these men could win. Eventually, Sami, the stomp is countered into a lion tamer. Sami has him in a lion tamer, Boston Crab, whatever you want to call it. Sami's holding him. Seth is pulling Sami and him closer to the rope. So Sami sits up and tries to drag Seth back in the middle of the ring. Seth rolls kind of to one direction, knocking Sami over. And eventually we get a roll up for a 1, 2, 3. Seth Rollins sneakily gets by with a small package at 20 minutes, 20 seconds. And a good solid match between these guys. And the way Seth Rollins won was, not by nefarious means. He just got him rolled up into a small package. He barely got out by the skin of his teeth. Sami Zayn made a hell of a showing in this match. Definitely showing Sami needs to be in the title picture. This definitely leaves us open to a chance for them to come back at any point in time and rehash this match for any reason. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. Of course, that is that match. Your thoughts on Sami Zayn versus Seth Rollins in the match and everything there. We'll talk about everything else after.
Match was good. Like I said earlier on, wish it wasn't on free TV, but it served its purpose to continue the story of where they were going. The match, like I said, we knew it was going to be a good match. It's definitely pay-per-view quality. It's Sami Zayn. It's... Why am I just going out of it?
Sami Zayn and Seth Rollins?
Seth Rollins, thank you. I'm looking a little too forward. Sorry.
You forget who the
my
world
notes- on my
champion
notes here.
is? Seth freaking Rollins? I mean, how do you forget Rollins' name?
It's late for some of us. Don't mind me.
You know what? You know what?
Oh, yeah. How do you fire the original
The co-owner?
founder? Co-owner in this case. Yeah, we'll go with that.
Yes, the co-owner.
Do
Because you
feel
forgot.
better, Miguel?
You
You're
forgot.
the only one who's been fired now.
You forgot Rollins' name. I think that's a big one. I'm sorry. I think that's, you know what? I need a button that says you pulled a Miguel. That's what it is. You pulled a Miguel.
But
Yes.
is
Yes. 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 Yes.
Jesus.
It wasn't me for once, Miguel says. You know what, Miguel? For being too cocky, guess what you get? Nothing. It didn't work. Isn't that a damn shame? There it is. It's on delay. There you go, Miguel. Don't be cocky.
They said I'm cocky, and I said, "What? It ain't cocky if you bring it." Yeah, I'm just so I'm.
All right. Of course, after the match,
Anyways,
we had Judgment Day come down and start attacking Sami Zayn. Then they get in and start beating up Rollins. And then Jey Uso comes down to even out the odds, but it's still not even. And then Cody comes out. And we have a Pierce 6 brawl. Everybody fighting all over the ring. Everybody going everywhere. Eventually, referees Adam Pearce coming down and tried to break it up. Adam Pearce gets upset. He gets in the ring and says, "You four want to play games," pointing at the Judgment Day. And then he points at the other four and says, "You four want to play games." Adam Pearce is not happy that everybody wants to play games. I don't know what game we're playing. Are we playing Monopoly, or is this Connect 4? Or are we going to play Dodgeball? What game have we been playing? I'm not necessarily sure. Anyway.
playing life.
The game of life. Anyways, so Adam Pearce leads us into it's going to be you guys in War Games, which leaves us kind of confused. So, again, the Judgment Day starts going back in attack, and we have a Player 6 brawl as Raw closes out for the night. Raw emanating from the Mohegan Sun tonight, where they sold about 7,500 tickets. Just what 6, 7, and let's see, 3, so 9 to 10 days after AEW was in the Mohegan Sun, and AEW sold 4,000 tickets. And yes, I round up those numbers just slightly, barely. So very interesting, and not even a little more over a week. That is what it is. So, Monday Night Raw. We're getting into War Games. Of course, we're confused because if you watch the War Games promo before the main event, Corey Graves in there going, it's a 10-competitor match for War Games. And I'm going, okay, we haven't seen a 5-on-5 in War Games yet that I know of in at least WWE. I have to go back and watch some of the old WCW. Maybe that's the next video I need to review, an old WCW War Games. I did WrestleMania 1, and I'm trying to figure out which old pay-per-view to review next. Maybe it's time to do a War Games. I don't know if I want to do the first, what they consider the first WCW NWA pay-per-view, which would have been 1983 Flair versus Harley race at the first Starrcade. I tried to start watching that, and that's old school wrestling, which is nothing wrong with it. It's just old school. Anyways, it was Monday Night Raw. It was a good show. Everything going good. We're heading into Survivor Series. We're getting the build in the War Games. We know who's going to take on Rhea Ripley already. We know the Intercontinental title. So we got 3 matches at least going into Survivor Series. I thought Raw was good. It did what it needed to do. There wasn't a lot of lows in there. There were some things that you're like, this might be better, but I don't think there was any major lows for Raw tonight. Mr. Clarke, your overall thoughts on Raw tonight. How do you feel? What do you think it landed at? Was it good? Was it awesome? Was it boring? Was it a load of crap? Was Raw crappy? Or is Rap crappy? I don't know. Maybe we need to go ask Kurt Hennig.
I wish we could. My brother.
I
thought
that.
Raw was good. Obviously, it leads you now to SmackDown to see. It's like, okay, so what's the SmackDown side of this upcoming pay-per-view going to start bringing into the equation?
Yeah,
I think that's actually more of the interest now. Like, good show tonight. Everyone did well. Now what's the continuation?
Yep. We thank you for joining us tonight. We thank you for being in the chat. If you are in the chat still, I hope you'll hit that like button Every like equals one prayer, right? No, that's somebody else's catchphrase. Anyways, hit the like button. Helps us out in the algorithm. We appreciate your support. So if you're in the chat, I should see the likes kicking up. We appreciate them. Anyways, Raw was good. It looks satisfactory. I think SmackDown, we're going to see the women build. I think you're going to see Damage Control along with Kairi Sane right now to build whatever feud's going there against Bianca Belair, Charlotte Flair, and whoever the two other women that might be thrown into the mix there. I guess you would say possibly Asuka, and I don't know who another woman over there that's been screwed over by Damage Control. I can't think of anybody, but that's sad. So that's what I think we'll start seeing there. We'll see if the the U.S. title will Logan Paul be on Survivor Series defending his newly won U.S. title. We're gonna have to wait for the SmackDown. Of course, we'll be here right after SmackDown with that review. So make sure you join us for that. And if you haven't, make sure you subscribe. If you're watching this later and you're new to this channel or you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Your subscription makes you a part of the Value Wrestling family, and we appreciate each and every one of you that is a part of the Value Wrestling family because you help us grow and move forward as we march to 1,000. Yes, that's our next big goal. We want to march to 1,000. We need your help to get there. Also, while you're at it, hit that bell for notifications because you always want to know when we put up new content. Like earlier today, I put up a new video from a big time rant entitled "Is Tony Khan Oprah or Just a Bad Booker?" So go check out that video. And of course, every day we put up this date wrestling history. Which is a good watch if you want to know past events on this date in wrestling history. Plus, there's always new content from 100% Marks to the Messiah's Wisdom to even our New Japan Pro Wrestling expert, the one and only Miguel Z, the gobbledygooker of the season, bringing us all types of content from New Japan Pro Wrestling. But if you want to catch him before it comes up on the YouTube channel, you can go over there to Spotify to watch New Japan Pro Wrestling Rebound on Spotify. Listen to his podcast as he breaks everything down. They had a recent event this weekend which introduced several high entertaining matches. The U.S. UK title has been destroyed. And now we have Will Ospreay, David Finlay, and Jon Moxley in a three-way dance for a possible new title. Will it be the United States title making a return in brand new look? Or is New Japan Pro Wrestling possibly going to bring back its Intercontinental title? Well, let me tell you, our New Japan Pro Wrestling expert, Miguel C, is going to break that all down for you. And he can also talk to you about the dream match that's going to happen at Wrestle Dreams. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Bryan Danielson made his appearance on New Japan Pro Wrestling TV to challenge Wrestle Kingdom. My bad. See, that's why you go to the New Japan Pro Wrestling expert, because he knows it better than I do. But Wrestle Kingdom coming up, I believe, on January 4th. I can say it. I promise you. 4th. January 4th will be Wrestle Kingdom for New Japan Pro Wrestling. This is Wrestle Kingdom 18. And he has a new episode up on Spotify right now. So make sure you go over there and jump on it because you want to hear about Bryan Danielson and his interesting vignette and his challenge. Who did he challenge? Who will he be taking on at Wrestle Kingdom? Get on over there so you can find out all about that. Otherwise, stay tuned to the Value Wrestling YouTube channel because we always have new content, new stuff coming up all the time. You never know when new videos come up. I'm working on my next flashback of wrestling. I just got to pick a pay-per-view and watch it. I will always take suggestions. So if there's a pay-per-view you want me to see you review, I can definitely jump on that, review it, break it down for you. There's story time. I'm working on my next story time. It's going to take a little longer. And of course, my partner over here, Mr. Clarke's always working on new projects as he has time. So you always got to pay attention. Jane is somewhere out there in the net universe waiting to crush dreams or frustrate people or just trigger people, whatever it may be that she does. She's always lurking and always waiting to make a appearance. Mr. Clarke, is there anything else you want to add before we shut down the show? We call it a night. We break for the evening. We head away to do the things that we want to do, like sleep and get ready for the next TV show, which we hope is a little better than last week's, but I don't know. Worried about what we're getting into because we're going to be back in 2 days' time now on Wednesday night for your Dynamite review. And it worries me a little bit. But anyways, Mr. Clarke, let me give you the floor.
I think we're all just a little worried just how Tony Khan's been booking stuff recently, so stay tuned for this train wreck coming up.
So who wins the AEW Kangaroo Dance-Off match there, you know? Well, will it be a dance or will it be the kangaroo kick, you know?
Oh Lord.
Dancing Fool. I didn't know Disco Inferno made it into AEW, but hey, you never know what can happen.
Thankfully, Glenn Galberti is only on that damn podcast, Keeping It 100.
Yes.
I love Conan. I'm still not that big of a fan of. Well, let me rephrase that. I like Disco Inferno and WCW. It made sense. But Glenn Galberti as a podcast person, sometimes he takes it too far for me. I'll just say that. Otherwise, I hope everyone has a good night. If you're into NXT, I hope you enjoy that tomorrow night.
Yeah,
If you're not, we'll see you Wednesday.
Yes, we will be back Wednesday, and I see Miguel's all excited for Dynamite. I hope he's ready to watch it and be prepared to be in the chat on Wednesday night to talk all about it with us. But if I can get my thing to work here, there we go, like I always say. Until the next episode, it's time to say on a delay. Hey, I can't help it when it delays a little bit, but let me get you out of here. Till next time, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Join us Wednesday night for a review of Dynamite.